Welcome,
Hey
everyone.
Sam, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Hey, Benny. Hey, Rod. Could we get a recording of this, please? That would be super helpful. Um, yeah, amazing. Thanks. Thanks so much. How is everyone? Can I have a vibe check, please, on Mint Day?
Good. How are you? Did you get any sleep last night?
I got marginally more than Adam, so I'm feeling slightly better about that decision. I think he's on a couple and I'm on 4 hours. That's where we're at. If you see any typos today, um, forgive me.
Uh, yeah, it's a bit like that. We've got our other big release happening tomorrow. Actually, tonight, um, late evening our time. Our other, should we call it a metaverse? I don't know whether it's a metaverse or not. Metaverse game, metaverse, whatever you want to call it. Going live tonight. So, a couple of late nights and early mornings at the moment, but it's that time of the year, so
Yeah, it's
we should.
exciting.
It
For
is. It's
anyone that's
exciting.
just joining, Ridley's just dropped some more alpha. Just, for anyone that wasn't here just then. So you'll have to listen to the recording to hear that, and we'll recap it at the end. Um, where is running south? Where's running south? I'd love a weather check, please. What's the weather like in Melbourne Park?
Oh, it's beautiful here today. Blue sky. It's going to be warm. I think we're talking low 30s, but it's stunning. We're middle of qualifying week this week, so there's still plenty of matches happening. We've got tennis plays for peace tonight in Rod Laver Arena, so a heap of the big names getting on court to raise funds for Ukraine. Packed house, 15,000 tickets sold for that. And then Thursday, we're into the draw. So we'll share heaps of information about the draw and who's up against who, particularly in those first couple of days. It's always interesting to see who from the top seeds is coming up against some of the players that might be seeded outside the sort of top 30, 40, 50. If they've slipped out of the top 30, 40, 50 over the last couple of years, or they've had some injuries and haven't held their position, it's always interesting to see who those top seeds come up against in the first round. And then Friday night, we've got Novak versus Nick in Rod Laver Arena, charity fundraiser event for the Australian Tennis Foundation. Sold out in 15 minutes when it went live yesterday. So we expect that to be a really fun event. I think Nick and Novak have obviously had their words across different social media platforms and through the media over the last couple of years, and then have sort of ignited a little bit of a bromance on the back of their final at Wimbledon. And I think they've got amazing sort of mutual respect for one another, and they're both very unique characters in the way that they go about their tennis, but also what they do off court as well. And obviously they've both got huge charities that they work with and run themselves, and they're both the sort of guys that when there's an autograph signing session or there's a kids event on, they're always the last two left signing autographs and speaking with fans and friends. And yeah, it's great to see them getting on court and getting a little warm up 3 days before the event starts.
So good to hear that. What a matchup. Love obviously the social impact of that. As Tennis Australia continues to shine in that space, and genuinely, I love it when brands don't reverse into impact. So yeah, props to the team on that. Um, so for everyone that's just joining, this is the Mint Party. Today is Wildcard's Mint. Before we go into any Mint questions, I'm just gonna drop Adam's tutorial in for the Mint site as well. For anyone that's tuning in, feel free to have a look at that at some point. But I might just take us into the experience, Rid, and in terms of the website, the new graphics, and maybe you can hype it a little bit.
Oh yeah, the graphics are just they're on another level. I think what when I saw some of these last night and was going through the tweets and some of these graphics, they're kind of, I like to refer to them as mind bending. But they are, and we've shared these with a couple of the internal team, and I think everyone is just blown away by the creativity and the innovation that's happening in this project, and the way that we can visually represent what is going on inside the AO ArtBall project. And these graphics, and for anyone who can't see them on screen, just tap the I think it's watch stream or watch thread in the top left hand corner. I think it'll come up, and that should bring up a full screen for you. But yeah, the AO ArtBall, the ball that has it all. I think as we continue to build out this project, it's important that we have a brand that is tied to this. We are thinking about the project like it is its own brand, not that it's just a project. This is it's a commercial business in a way, and it's continuing to build out, and it should be represented with graphics and visuals that are commensurate to what the project is and how innovative and forward-thinking the project is. So now the team at Run It Wild and everyone that's been working on this behind the scenes have done an unbelievable job in storytelling and creating visual representation of what is happening with the project and how this visually comes to life.
All cool, Adam, welcome. I just want to get a mic check from you before I wax lyrical about these animations, and then we'll get into mint queries and what's coming next. But yeah, are you there? Are you awake?
I am. I'm struggling, but I'm up.
And yeah, congratulations on a successful mint opening. Well done. Yeah, have you got any, as we go through the website, maybe I can ask you, well, I know which one my favourite is, but there's obviously, and we can step through the animations and what we call them internally, but my favourite graphic is the infinite ball loop, which I can show you in a minute. But yeah, maybe you could step through which one's yours, because they're pretty amazing. But this is the infinite ball graphic, which is on the main page there. But Adam, maybe you can talk about some of these animations and what inspired them and what got us here.
They're a lot of fun. I think one part of it is that, like David Port, our creative director, it's just, he's got a very keen eye, and he was having heart palpitations yesterday, seeing how when they're very different from probably how we need to approach the website itself with a web file that doesn't drag down the lag or anything else. So, but I'm overly wrapped with it, and the way that it's sort of come up with, it starts with like Louis, who's our creative strategist, and Dave, our creative director, and they work together. And there's an amazing artist that we work with called Zach, who did last year's sets as well. And yeah, it's come together really well. Speaking, we couldn't get the website out a little sooner so that people could see it, but I think this will lead really well into the tournament itself, and the precedent of what's to come, especially when it comes to like the match point site, and how people start to be able to review those match points. It honestly does make AO22 look like child's play, and we won an award for it. So I think I'm excited for everyone to see it, and it's come out really well. I always appreciate Rid's feedback. We're on a winner when he's over the moon and wrapped about what we're sending him through. So big shout out to the Run It Wild team, and Pala obviously as well, our partner, who do all our smart contract auditing and help with the dev. There's
Love All Lils. Don't forget Love All Lils.
Of course, I was about to go through the rest of the Run It Wild team, but we're so excited for people to experience. There's a lot of things that we haven't been able to say until the mint is closed, and that's obviously for different regulations and other parts that we just need to make sure that we abide by. But yeah, I'm excited for everyone to see it. The collaborators with Katie, who's just she's really nailed this. It's exciting to think about what that's going to be for this tournament. And Lils has just been the champion, who's our art director. So you would see all the color palettes and a lot of the design work is all Lils. So yeah, and there's lots of people behind the scenes. We'll be listing them for a while, but this is first phase. There's a lot to come over the next couple of days, and then obviously the reveal, coordinates, and then the start of the tournament. I'm secretly working on cyber at the moment as well, which is just I'll talk to you about it later, but it's
okay. This is also another alpha warning. I've already given Rid one already.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We will recap the alpha at the end for everyone as well that missed it at the very beginning, and just that connection there. But this Rubik's Cube is insane. It's also close second for me. And this Metaverse one is just unreal in terms of expansive, exploratory, and multiverse. As Adam alluded to, we're speaking to on cyber very excitingly at the moment. So so let's get into Mint. So basically, before we move on, if you come to our website, which is obviously on our official links, it's AO-2023.artball.io. I'll let Adam guide you through the Mint process, but we've also just done a YouTube as well. But we'll take you through some of the new additions that have popped up, and a few things that might happen in Discord over the next little while as well. And then we'll get on to sort of really direct questions on, helping you mint. Hey there. Please, if you're joining, could we mute?
Yeah, we've got that one. Hey, Mirage23, welcome.
Welcome. Thanks. I'm not sure what language or what that was. So if anyone can clarify, I'd love to know. Adam, do you want to just step us through the Mint experience? I know we've got the steps in there, and a few people have minted already, and we can jump into Etherscan as well. But yeah, I just want to open out with the Mint screen. So if you connect your wallet, or if you hit Mint at the bottom left there, at the bottom right there, you would get to the /Mint screen, which is on Mint. Go for it, Adam. This is all you.
I'm trying to find how I mute someone on my phone.
So right, leave that to Ben and Rod to do. We'll have you covered momentarily. Yeah.
Everyone's muted at the moment.
I can't do it anyway. It's quite an easy process for minting. I think what we're trying to work through is how do we make sure that we can verify and validate the wallet so that everyone knew how many they would be able to mint. So if you connect your wallet and you look in the bottom right, you'll be able to see how many wildcard and waitlist mints you have. Some interesting parts if you want to check out the smart contract, and if you're interested in those type of things, you can always look that up on the left. It's hyperlinked. The light paper is also there for availability, but basically you connect your wallet on the top right or the middle button, and right. I can't concentrate. I'm sorry, but so basically you connect your wallet in the top right or to the middle of the button on the far right, and from there you'll find out how many wildcard or waitlist you've got available, and basically that will then validate how many you can mint on that particular day. So today's the wildcard list, and then tomorrow obviously is the wait list. Basically read through the terms and conditions, click and tick and approve, and you'll be able to mint those the amount of NFTs that you're allowed for the day. So and then you can go and check that out on the OpenSea profile from there on.
So we were getting a few questions about the allocations. In terms of your unique allocation, you can mint up to your unique allocation for the day that you've been allocated for that category. So I'll just step through that in a worked example, which is if you look down below game set match, it says during our wildcard mint, you can mint up to 1 ArtBalls on AO23 ArtBall, right? And that obviously might be multiples there. That could be 5, that could be more than that. It just depends on your individual wallet. If you're a 10 plus holder, you would have got an automatic wildcard. If you're an artist ArtBall holder from 22, or if you're a legend ArtBall holder from 22, you'd automatically got a wildcard as well. So it really depends where you're at, and there's obviously a number of collaborator wildcard pre-mints that were live as well, no longer live. So that is your unique allocation. And then underneath that, it says during our waitlist, you can mint up to 1. So we've put everyone on the snapshot that owned an ArtBall at the snapshot, which has already been taken, on the waitlist. So if you are an ArtBall holder and you were in the snapshot, which was noon on Monday, you would automatically get a waitlist mint as well. I have minted, so it says just underneath game set match max allocated whitelist amount reached. I've already minted 1 ball here for the purposes of testing. So that's that in terms of the I guess wildcard check and mint check. We've obviously got timers on here in terms of when a wildcard ends. Adam, do you just want to talk us through the decision around 20 hours and what that means for people and gas at the moment, and what you're doing in Discord in terms of gas as well?
Yeah, I think the reality is that this project is international, and we're really proud of that. We learned from last year that the way that we minted the project and the way that we approached it, we weren't sure who the audience was truly going to be, and learning through the months of from March onwards and doing all our AMAs and all the amazing surveys that Sarah's put together, I think it was very apparent that we've got a broad mix of European, US and Australian time zones to play with, and we want to give everyone an opportunity to be able to mint at the price that they've been allocated. So I think within this, we get sort of 2 bites of the cherry. If the Europeans were staying up late to make sure that they could get it, they could, or they can wake up and not have to rush. And, that obviously also helps with gas. Just don't leave it too late, I'd say, is my advice. But yeah, like for us, it's, to be able to get to, the public auction for what it's worth. It's like we want to give everyone a chance to be able to mint when if they've been able to win a raffle. So yeah, that's the basis of it.
And then quick question on where's gas sitting at the moment. So people loading wallets through the wildcard and waitlist. What's your recommendation? I know I paid $15 for one. Adam, have you got a range that you would allocate?
Yeah, well, yesterday was a lot cheaper when we tested it. So yeah, it depends on the moment, but like I've seen sub 10. I was around 15 as well, I think, in the recording. So we do have a gas bot, so I'm just going to throw that out there as well, where you can just sort of ask the on Discord. I think it's I'll find the exact way to do it, but basically yeah, we'll keep monitoring it, but anyone can monitor it and check at any time by not having to sign off on their transaction. But yeah, it's I do remember the times where I used to mint and it was like 30 to 50 cents a couple of years ago. But yeah, those times are gone, but I don't take them back from the hype of 2021 and spending hundreds of dollars on gas just to make the mint happen. But yeah, I'd say it average out to $10 to $15, but at any point in time.
Okay, thanks for that. Super helpful for anyone that's loading their wallets that's in the wild cards or waitlist category. That was our indication of USD for gas. So, and there'll be a gas bot as well. I think we should just canter through the mint schedule and where we're at this moment. We opened out with the wildcards being live minting. There's also a note here that we have frozen trade on AO23s. Adam, what was the decision? What was the reason for that? And at what point does that trading thaw out in terms of that freeze?
Like the term for. Yeah, so obviously we want it to be as fair as possible. So for us, the important part is to get through the public mint if it does get there, because obviously there's a wait list. Tomorrow we'll see where it lands, and then whatever's left will go to public auction. Once that's closed, the trading freeze will thaw out, as you mentioned, Sarah. So yeah, it's hard with the time zones, but I think by Saturday morning Australian Eastern time and Friday evening in the US, we expect it to be there. But yeah, we'll keep everyone up to date.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. So we're live with the waitlist mint. Public mint is going live in just under a day now. Waitlist mint is just going live under a day now, and public mint, which will be a Dutch auction, will be going live on Friday. And this is the Australian Eastern Standard Time schedule. It's been out for a week now. It's been pinned to our pin tweet. So if you ever need to know where you're at in the schedule, if you're listening on catch up as well, head over to our pin tweet. Also, there's a link in there for if we haven't got your time zone represented. So we've obviously provided schedules for our key holder bases. But if your country's not on there, we've also got a link out so you can toggle and work out where we are at for your time zone. So that's it on Mint. So we might take this briefly to some alpha that we can share. So Ridley, what were you alluding to that's happening tonight? Just as a recap, but not reveal it. Ridley, you first.
I'm glad you said don't reveal it, because there's nothing publicly out there just yet. So over the last couple of months, or probably the last few months, we've been working on a new project in a gaming platform that will go live tonight, Australian time. So it'll actually go live probably, I think it's around midday European time on Wednesday. Exciting stuff. It's sort of the next iteration in where we see extending the AO into a bit more of a global platform. So obviously with a focus on gamers and younger demographics and engaging them with the brand from a younger age, but also engaging them with our AO Metaverse channels and bringing them in to educate them on Web3 as well. So I can't share too much more right now, but we'll go live with that in the next sort of 12 to 24 hours, and I'm sure that everyone here will see that across AO Metaverse, and hopefully we'll see quite a lot of new consumers coming into the Discord as well. So for anyone that is here, that's been here for a while, please welcome those new members with open arms. We're really excited to see how it goes.
Awesome. So you will see an update overnight for anyone that's on Australia time. When I say overnight, I'm talking about when the US wakes up. We'll be having some updates on our Discord accordingly for that new AO Metaverse experience. That's all we can say there. Speaking of metaverses, Adam, you had an alpha drop there. We can't launch the specifics of the collab, but we can allude to it. Adam, you're up with On Cyber.
So, Sarah, I can't talk about these things, but token gated access for holders, something that we've been exploring with On Cyber, plus like a virtual environment room as an airdrop is probably all I can say at this point in time, which is probably
No, I think that's good. Yeah. That's really good. Yeah. That's really punchy and succinct and on point. So
I think
Big beast.
I feel like there was an image shared somewhere at some
There
point.
was, there was. Head over to Collab News. There is a tweet on
That's
it.
it.
But we are in build. It's under construction. I'll ping it out and find it in a minute. Just hang on in there whilst I'm doing 17 other things. But I'll drop it on this chat in a moment. So yeah, that's the alpha drop. So
I think it's important to yeah, this is probably one thing I can talk about. So yeah, it's a reality check when you sort of start to build in the space, and then you're working with great partners like Decentraland or on Cyber, and they're building in real time as well. And I think part of it is that even with on Cyber, what we're trying to do will be a first for them, and like currently you can just stream YouTube into a non-cyber environment, and we're looking at how we're wanting to sort of put through different streams and other parts of the broadcast. So yeah, it's kudos to a whole heap of different teams when considering like Decentraland and even on Cyber, where we're just continuing to push and build things that don't have necessarily a precedent, but yeah, I'm excited to think the testing is for tomorrow with on Cyber. So I'll probably be able to give an update, and we'll probably be able to do a Twitter Spaces around that as well with the on Cyber crew once we're confident about what we're trying to deliver there. But yeah, I think it's one of those things we can all dream big, and maybe there's time that we just need to catch up with us sometimes on our visions. But yeah, it's exciting to see what we're building out for it.
okay.
Yeah, I think
Thank you
that's
so much.
a couple of like exciting things that we've been working through, and I can see, even I won't shout anyone out, but I can see that there's a couple of our collaborators in the room here at the moment, and yeah, the partnerships and the collaborations and the creativity and the innovation and some of the conversations that we've had with those collaborators and the other projects that are continually building and pushing the technology as far as they can, and innovating and working on different ways to engage community but build loyalty, build utility, is really exciting. And I've sat through a few of those conversations, and some of the ideas and the like pure creativity that comes out of some people's minds is quite unbelievable. And I think when we see some of that come to life over the next few months, it'll be it'll be great to see that come to life and some of those ideas really come to fruition, because some of them are so bold. Nobody's ever done anything like what some of the conversations that we've had over the last few weeks. Sarah or Adam, have we got
Hey.
you or have I lost you?
Hey,
Sorry,
sorry.
I was just replying to someone on Discord.
My audio dropped out then. Sorry, that was a long pregnant pause there. Apologies, everyone. The next alpha drop that we have was last night, and it predominantly speaks to our holders. So Ridley, do you want to introduce the membership multiplier? I'm just going to drop the tweet link in a minute.
Yeah, I can see. So you've got that on screen again. So for anyone who's joined and hasn't got the stream up, just in your top left-hand corner, you should be able to click Watch Stream, and that'll pop up for you. The membership multiplier. So this is, I think, what's really unique about the space that we're playing in right now in Web3 and NFTs is this opportunity for us to create things that aren't necessarily regularly available in everyday memberships or everyday loyalty programs. So what we want to do here is create benefit to anyone who has a 22 and a 23 ArtBall. We've sort of seen a lot in the community about, well, what do I get for having a 23 when I could have a 22? And that's where building your membership multiplier benefits will continue to grow. So there will be, and I think this is one of the unique things about Web3 and traits in NFTs as well. We can have a trait that showcases an AO ArtBall as a 22 or a 23 or a legendary or an artist or a collaborator series or a match-winning ball. And what we do with those traits and how we benefit those holders can change at I guess, any time, because we have the flexibility to add benefit, segregate the community a little bit, all the while keeping the collection growing and continuing to give benefit back to people who have a 22, but then also people who have a 23, and then, like the membership multiplier suggests, people who have a 22 and a 23. So in what we're sort of referring to as the membership multiplier, or as I like to call it, the ball tube, and you continue to fill your tube with balls. Anyone that holds a 22 and a 23 will be considered for a membership multiplier, which will give you, for example, first access to whitelists. So when we have a limited number of whitelists get offered up to us, or allow lists get offered up to us, priority will go to holders of a 22 and a 23. If there's collaborator opportunities that may not go across the entire 23 range, they'll first get offered up to a 22 or a 20 and a 23 holder with the membership multiplier. So this is like, if we think about it in practical terms, what everyone will be familiar with, this is like your frequent flyer program. So let's say an AO22 ArtBall is a silver membership and an AO23 ball is a gold membership. If you have an AO22 and an AO23, you're a platinum member. So, or an executive member, or whatever that category would happen to be. So I think this is really interesting to showcase and show how we can continue to give benefit, continue to build the program, reward everyone at the same time, but reward specific categories of membership even more than just a ball holder.
I love it.
Relatively clear.
Yeah, so good. But we might contextualize it with a few examples as well. So there's probably three benefit categories that this could fall into. So we might go outbound. So we might go to a Grand Slam, or we might go to a different code and ask for a multiplier benefit. Something that is, pretty special. We're not talking about the average here. So we might go out to one of your favorite sporting codes, or someone, or another brand, and speak to them about what a multiplier benefit could be across AO22 and 23. And we have got some cooking. The next part is inbound. So as Ridley alludes to, we get an inordinate amount of inbounds in terms of different experiences. We've taken people to MotoGP. The outbound examples are when we speak to people like Arsenal that are in our Tennis Australia partner family. And then there's, of course, community ideas. So we've got a campaign live at the moment, which is, we've done a bit of research. So and holders have told us, this is self-claimed by holders, what sports they're into, what they really want to see at the top end of the scale. And we're talking about premium experiences here. So we have got a good understanding, but there's nothing like it's your project, your multiplier, you tell us. So, think of it as the AO DAO. We'd love to hear your ideas for what you'd like to see as the multiplier. So if you own AO22 and AO23, we might put it to the vote, put it to the member vote, put it to the AO Council vote, the AO HQ vote, the ArtBall HQ vote, and with equal voting, and get that sorted and get that made and get that created. So this is your chance to tell us what you really, really want from a multiplier benefit. So yeah, this is intended to be, wild, as we've indicated in the post there. We want to hear from you. This wild to everyone is very individual. I think Ridley and I and Adam have ideated in a room with a number of different teammates and got to the same summary at the end, which is like, that's a great idea. However, we need to hear from our holders and what they think a great idea is, and what they think, you know, what an idea that sits in this, I guess, box is. So really, Adam, I don't know if you have any examples, or I can read some out from what we've heard back from. But we've had things like as simple and as sweet as 5 minutes with a tennis player, with an ATP tennis player or WTA tennis player, and we've had that a bit in our suggestions. But this is your time to think big, dream big, and tell us what you'd like to see as a multiplier benefit as well. Adam Ridd. Just had my shot of coffee.
Yeah, no, all good. Yeah, I think this is an opportunity, like we continue to say, we listen to the community and we listen to suggestions, and we want contribution from the community. We have great ideas, but we also want to hear from holders, and we have an amazing network that we can call on globally, whether that be a sports network, a brands network. And we can absolutely ask the questions. I don't think there's any idea that's too big in this instance. And sure, not everything's gonna happen. I think that's the reality of it. But we'd like to hear from the community in this instance as to what people would like, what they would want, what is super meaningful to someone, because what is meaningful to one person can be very different to what is meaningful to another. And I know as we've gone through the last 12 months and some of the projects that we've done and the events that we've run, and we keep talking about how do we make memories for people that are something that they'll never forget or that they'll treasure for the rest of their life. And the Stan Smith private clinic in the Vanderbilt Club in New York was 15 people, and for those 15 people, that's something that they'll never forget. Stan signed a pair of shoes for them, had a hit of tennis with them. Like that's an unbelievable experience. For the 30 people that came to the New York Mets game and had the private field walk and got to take photos down on the field, and then had the private suite. Again, that's an experience that they're going to remember forever. And then we talk about how do we provide value for everybody, but also everybody globally, and that is like tickets and experiences. And for someone who lives in Singapore or Los Angeles, that might be a challenge to get to the event now or this year, and that's why we extended that to into future years, so people can plan in advance knowing that this project will continue to exist. And we keep talking about the commercial viability of the project and financial sustainability, and the reasons for why we are pricing mints the way we're pricing them is to continue to benefit the existing holders and the new holders into the future. And we're confident that we've built a model for financial sustainability and commercials that will allow this project to continue for years into the future, and it can be self-supporting and continue to give tickets and experiences and benefits to an OG holder who might have only paid a few $100s to come into the project, but over the lifetime of their membership in that program will be given hundreds, probably even thousands of dollars worth of value for being in the project. And we're really fortunate that when we see a lot of other NFT projects out there, the financial sustainability model is completely forgotten, and the mint money that comes in is great and it lasts for 6 to 12 months, and then all of a sudden the project's gone and the holders are screaming out for an airdrop or utility, and what do I get for being part of this? I've got this little JPEG that's left in my wallet. That's where we think our project is very different to everyone else and thinks very differently, because we're not thinking about the revenue as such. We're thinking about how this project continues 5, 10, 15, 20 years into the future and continues to add benefit to all holders, whether you came in 22, 23, 24, whatever that happens to be. So as we continue to talk about the project, I think everyone needs to have that lens of this is not just a pump and dump to get in and out. This is a membership that we want you to hold near and dear, and we want you to hand down to your children, and we want you to tell your friends and family about, and say you're an exclusive member of a club that provides you with this benefit and this utility, and that the team and the creative that comes behind it is so well thought out that there's no reason to get out of the project. You should be wanting to stay in for as long as possible.
I love it. So you alluding to that, say the ball tube stack. So one has a 22, they stack a 23 and a 24. When 24 come out, that's a multiplier as well.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, wow. Okay, super excited. I'm just going to read out a couple here. Power Apps for Life. That's one for you, Adam. This is from Justice. I would love to see a VIP collector bonus. Match point multiplier madness. Double the tickets for any AO22 and 23 holder who is lucky enough to have match point on their plot. Triple the tickets for AO22, 23, 24. Wow, okay. Love where the creativity is going here. So yeah, we've just recapped over the membership multiplier. Yeah, feel free to drop your thoughts, ideas here. We'd love to see them on Twitter. We want to get this out to as many holders as we can, and wider than that as well. So we've asked for replies to this specific multiplier on Twitter for the moment. We'll obviously also be tracking what pops up on Discord. Okay, we are gonna head. Unless Adam, you've got a wild idea. I'm putting you on the spot here with 2 hours sleep. However, until you come up with that, we might go to an AMA because we've got that. So if you've been itching, if you're having trouble minting, if you've got a mint 2023 question, we're here. So use us. We're also gonna multitask and head into our tickets as well and start answering the most frequently asked questions on mint as well. But to kick us off, Crow House, are you able to advise if there is a benefit to minting versus buying off secondary? Mint price is high, and based on the AO22 second price, will probably go under mint. If we want to join, would we not be better off buying off secondary? Ridley, Adam, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I can jump in there. Look, there's probably an element of speculation that comes into that question. What are we, 2 hours and 54 minutes into a 3-day mint process? Obviously, with wildcards going at the moment and waitlist coming in tomorrow and then public on Friday. So obviously, like, you are welcome to go and buy off the secondary if you like. Obviously, secondary balls right now, there's 22 balls available, and then the 23 balls, we might be starting to see some on the secondary, but I'm not sure if you can actually, there's a trading freeze, so whether you can purchase there or not, I don't believe you could at the moment. So I guess that's
right. We're in a trading. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. That's right. We're in a trading freeze on 23. So that's yeah.
Yeah. So that was, I think, earlier on. Like we want the mint and the next sort of 2 or 3 days to be as fair as possible for everyone, and as rewarding as possible for everyone who's getting in at the points that they're coming in. So whether it be part of the wildcard, waitlist, or public mint, we want to ensure that that is as clean as possible for everyone, particularly as we're joining the 23 ball in with the 22 collection. There's quite a bit of intricacy that comes into the back end with regard to mint, and then the collections coming together, and then obviously the data updates and the reveal that happen leading into the AO, and then the live updates that happen during the AO as well. So, for example, on day 1 of the tournament, there's 64 matches that we have to process onto the 64 match-winning balls. And that's the same for day 2, day 3, and day 4 as well. So these 3 days leading into the weekend, along with the weekend, with the reveal, and then the first 4 days of the tournament are incredibly heavy from a technical standpoint. And we just need to make sure that all due diligence is done there and that the appropriate measures are taken to ensure that everything goes smoothly. But like I said, there's probably mint price there based on AO22, and the secondary price will probably go under mint. Look, completely speculative at this point in time. I think to answer the first part of the question, there is no benefit to minting versus buying off secondary. I think that's one of the very unique things about NFTs and Web3 as well, is that also if you want to go and buy off the secondary when it's available, in theory you can choose the artwork that you like. You might be able to choose the court position that you like. So you may actually consider that as being a better opportunity, but in reality, those better court positions or nicer artworks or more limited artworks may come at a much higher price as well. So again, there's an element of speculation there, which we can't really talk too much to. But yeah, that's obviously, there's a ton of information out there for individuals to make their own decision on whether they mint or whether they buy on secondary, court positions, artwork that they want, etc., etc.
Thanks, Fred. That's super helpful. I might just add a follow-up question there on the collaborator series. So you've delved into this a bit before, but just to recap for everyone that's here right now, is it worth explaining an example like the Penfold example that might happen for AO23 collaborator series holders and the entire AO23 collection there, in terms of how, and explain the explanatory example of how that might work in terms of benefits?
Sorry, I lost you for half a second there. Do you mind?
Sorry.
Rerun?
Yeah. I was just going to say, just a follow-up question on the collaborator series. The example that you've used a bit is Penfold. So if you land a Penfold collaborator ball, this happens. AO23s, all the 2-4-5-4s will get this. I'm just wondering if you can explain that through an example.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So within the collection of 2-4-5-4, there's 115 collaborator balls. Now, those are spread across 10 to 15 odd collaborators, of which some have 3, some have 6, and some have 9 balls in the collection. Each one of those collaborator balls will have exclusive availability to a benefit with regards to that collaborator. So let's talk about the on cyber example that, or Penfolds, for example, that Adam was chatting about earlier. And so there'll be exclusive benefits to whoever holds those specific balls within the community. And then obviously with some of those collaborators, we're talking about additional benefits that go across the entire collection. But then if some of those benefits aren't wide-ranging enough to go across the entire 9,230 balls, they'll be exclusively available to 23 ball holders as a priority, because the collaborator collection sits within the 23 collection. So that's I guess it's almost a tentacle into the multiplier effect of the example before, where we can segregate, and we will in a way segregate the 22 and the 23 collections, but then also the members who hold a 22 and a 23 as well.
Yeah, amazing. That's super helpful. Just following that up with, if you don't mind, if you don't mint out, will minters have a better chance of getting the collaborator series? I can start on this one, and feel free to chime in. On a percentage level, on a purist level, possibly. However, all of the collaborator balls would be distributed. And I'm touching on the next question in terms of the unfreeze and the plot rerolls. The reveal happens currently tracking for the 15th to the 16th in Australia, Eastern Standard Time for the reveal. What will happen is that after mint, Chainlink VRF will distribute all the balls and all the plots. So when I say all the balls, I mean the 23 balls, which are 2-4-5-4, and the entire plot. So everyone that's on the court for 23, which is the 6-7-7-6 who mint in 22, who minted in 22, and those who mint in 23 as well. All of those plot numbers will be put into Chainlink VRF, which is a verifiably on-chain random number generator. So the control of that is out of our hands. So if on Discord, on a scenario level, possibly. However, It just all depends on the random, verifiably random process that happens on the blockchain. And then in terms of the question on to confirm the sale unfreeze happens before the pot rolls, yes, correct. So the unfreeze happens as soon as the public sale ends, which is tracking for around 24 hours, so 7 a.m. on Saturday. The unfreeze happens at the moment, at the point that the Dutch auction finishes and the public sale finishes. That's when the unfreeze happens, and you'll be able to trade AO23s. However, you obviously won't be able to see plot positions. You won't be able to see the reveal on the schedule is when you will be revealing artwork, whether you've landed a collaboratable, and your plot numbers, so where you are on the court. That's what we're tracking for currently. Adam, if you have anything to add, feel free to come off. And is there a risk to project funding if this doesn't mint out? Has the financial models and pricing been based on project minting out? Ridley, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, look, elements of it certainly have, and we support that the project will sell out in the next 3 days. I think we've got a great plan to keep that moving forward, and as we said, we're only a couple of hours into the mint, of which is a relatively restricted mint with the wildcards. So elements of it have been, but we also have mitigation and safety nets internally for different budgets and whatnot to keep things moving forward. And we're confident that we'll continue to keep this project building into the future. And yeah, I don't think anyone should be too concerned there. We're obviously a very large, reputable brand and organisation, and it's nice to sit in a Discord where you don't see any accusations of rug pulls or anything along those lines, just particularly given the brand, the trustworthy nature of the brand. And I think when you see the work that's going into the behind the scenes and the website and the graphical representations and the collaborations and how much work has gone in there, absolutely we're invested into the project into the future.
Cool. And nothing happens if we disconnect from the site after minting, like nothing is affected. Yes, we always recommend disconnecting from connected sites with your wallet. So yes, you're free after you've got your mint confirmation. We might screenshot a mint confirmation actually. The mint confirmation screen is on Adam's. Just scroll up a little bit on Adam's tutorial, so you'll see the mint confirmation on there. After you get that mint confirmation, you can disconnect your wallet. Nothing will happen. And you should then head over to your wallet to see your pre-reveal image, which is the AO ArtBall ball tube, which Ridley has been alluding to. Do the team monitor sentiment around the minting phase in the project, and what are the community saying? Will it be tough sentiment across communities? I'm a bit concerned. Don't want to FUD. Sounds like you are. Will definitely be an AO23, but still trying to determine about mint versus secondary. This is the last one from Crow House. You've had 3 questions in here now. I know. So we might give some other peeps the room, and we might come back to your follow-up questions as well. But last one, if you want to go back to Crow House. Rid.
I think absolutely we keep an eye on things across different communities, and we talk with. And we should say, Crow House, thanks for the questions. I think they're all really good questions, and we really appreciate the input as well. And as running self, sort of saying, and I'm not necessarily talking to Crow House here, but this is a very new space for a lot of people who are most likely tennis fans. And what we sort of see through the moment is a transition from where the original model of the project was an opportunity for Web3 fans to come to tennis. We now sort of find ourselves in that phase of knowing that tennis fans are going to get the most value out of the project and probably the most unique experiences and the tickets and whatnot. We want to onboard more tennis fans into the project as well. So obviously There's sentiment that comes with that. There's a lot of question. There's a lot of unknowns for a lot of people as well. So I think we still can't determine whether you mint or you want to go and buy on secondary. Totally up to you. Like we said, there's a ton of information out there that should allow you to make that decision. But yeah, I think look, if there's more, and Sarah, you and I can kind of bounce back and forth. But yeah, look, sentiment wise, we are all across multiple projects, across multiple of our collaborator projects as well. So we are sort of keeping an eye on that. But at the same time, sentiment across different communities, we need to take that always with the lens of individual opinions and how the project needs to what the project needs to do to continue moving forward. So as we said earlier, we always take on suggestions. We're always looking at those and what will happen in the future. But to keep the project alive and moving forward, we always sometimes have to make tough decisions, I think. And that sometimes that means not following up on people's suggestions or not actioning those suggestions, but focusing on the task at hand, which for a project like this, the build out of things like the website and the ticketing and the work that goes into the collaborations of like hours and hours and hours of phone calls and meetings and building, sometimes that has to take priority over some of the newer innovations and chasing sentiment. So absolutely, I hope that answers the majority of the
we've
questions.
got a thanks for the responses for Crow House. So that's I think we've hit that one off, Red. So yeah, well done. Thanks, Crow House, for being super engaged and energized and yeah, just a great question, curly question, sender. So yeah, running self, pump and dump, value chasers, etc. Probs aren't attracted to projects like this. I know Ridley has an opinion on this, which he's just alluded to. What you're seeing as well, the only thing I wanted to tack on to Ridley's statement is there is a micro moment in time. So you're seeing people bowl into our Discord that haven't been with this project since November last year. You'll be able to see who they are because you can see when they joined on Discord. So what I would say is you're seeing a micro moment in time of newbies coming in to Discord, and you're seeing just the percentage basis of those, and they're largely from our collaborator communities, which swing between long-term and short-term DJ and flipping projects, right? And that's just a funnel. That's just a funnel of what the NFT market is right now. And you're at a micro moment in time. And if you're just going to past to most recent post, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing people of a lower, understanding level and a lower comprehension of what this project's about. And what Running Self is alluding to there is that you're probably not hearing from a lot of our community goats because they're pretty confident with where they're at right now. And we have got a few in here, but I would get curious on the FUD Crow House, and I would start to tune in to some of our community goats. And I can name some of those. We've got a few in here, Meta Mikey, Running Self, A Wiz, Street Fury, a few of our community goats that have a very measured response. I'm not speaking for them, but I would just tune in to their responses over what is a frequency moment in time of completely new people and new collaborators, which we are extremely grateful for. But they're on a lower, point of understanding on what the project's about. And coming back to our mission, as Ridley alluded to, this is the project that gets handed down to your children. If you think about, you can obviously hear my British accent. When my uncle handed me down to benches for Wimbledon, it was like, what? For life? And you've got, Justice there saying, could we have tickets for life? And another suggestions that are coming on our membership multiplier. So if you stretch out your time horizon on this project, that would also be another suggestion as well. So rather than listening, it's not necessarily the FUD, It's just a lot of educational and people getting up the comprehension curve at the moment, as opposed to our holders that are sitting pretty, probably minting right now. They're minting their wildcards, and you can see them on Etherscan too. That probably haven't been and had the time to be as vocal right now. Is that fair, Ridley? Hopefully you heard that.
Sorry, it was just, there's nothing worse than that awkward 1.5 seconds of silence while someone's coming off mint. Is it? Mint off mute. I think absolutely. There's everything over the last couple of minutes that you were just saying is completely relevant. I think there is so much information out there, but unfortunately with Discord, what you are seeing more often than not is the last few minutes of conversation that is happening. And from a few minutes back, you were saying there's obviously a lot of new people coming into the community. We're also seeing commentary from some people that have been in the community for a long time, but probably haven't been active in the community as well. So they may not necessarily have context to what they're commentating on. And I think it's important that we manage that appropriately, because we don't want new people coming into the community seeing the last 10 minutes of conversation without any context over the reasons for why decisions have been made or what the benefits of those decisions are. So I think absolutely take a lot of internal commentary with a grain of salt, and use the resources that are provided to you from the team, whether that be the light paper or information on the website, etc., to I guess educate yourself and form your own opinions about the project, or whether you mint on live mint or secondary, etc., etc.
Yeah, I love that. Just happy daddy. So happy to hear happy daddy's happy. I just minted unbelievably smooth. Love this. And a comment earlier, which again, due to the scroll, I can't find who that was, but the mint site is alone to justify this isn't a rug pull. Love, love, love it. Try as you might. Sorry, I forgot to shout you out as Community Go. You were at the bottom in my ordering after me, so your little avatar didn't pop up. But welcome. So good to see Running Self, Shintage, Try as you might. Daily 25, so great to have you here. Hey Bobo, what a pucker ArtBall you have there. It's pretty special, that one. Ben on Discord, nice to see you back. So good to see our holders in force out here. Mikey Ovs. It's pretty special, Bobo. I'd be flashing it everywhere as well. We love seeing ArtBalls as a profile pic. So try as you might, we've got a question, comment, feedback coming in from you. Anyone else, if you're having trouble minting, feel free to head over to tickets if it's an individual wallet issue. If you have a wildcards waitlist question, you should be able to see your positions. We'll have updates through the day on wildcards and waitlists. Minted my goat ball. Love this great project. You are the goat. Yeah, nice to hear that from you. Try as you might. I don't know if he's a he actually. Try as you might is one of our goat community winners. What does that mean? We had a competition for most engaged community members that lived and breathed our values, that are amazing Sherpas for all of the new people that are being welcomed into our community right now. Point them to the direction of the right information and give a very measured and balanced view. Our GOAT community members, full disclosure, aren't paid to do that. For their engagement, though, they are gratefully thanked. And we gave away 10 GOAT wildcards to a few people here. Xserve Katie, good to see you. Have you got a live incoming update? Unless you don't, I'm going to put you on mute. Ridley, do you want to tell us what a Kickserve is? I don't even know what one of those is. I'm presuming it bounces up really high. But I love Kick.
Katie's in and she's out. I think it sounded like she's driving. So, be careful where you're driving there. Kick serve. Oh, look, with a bit of spin, particularly on different court surfaces. A kick serve should really kick off the court in different directions. Some probably not used as much anymore. I think a lot of players are more traditionally going for speed now, and you might more use a kick serve on a second serve when you're not necessarily looking for as much speed. There you go, bit of tennis chat.
Love it, love it on the tennis chat. Right, I listened to the last AO show, and I heard about the 3 new stats that are coming in, and it blew my mind on breakbacks and the break force as well. So if you haven't listened to that, I'll drop it in Oz Open, or I think I have. But those stats blew my mind, Rid, how that team is thinking about analysing and giving different rankings to the likes of Demon, Alex, Demonor, and so on for different. Oh, it's insane.
Yeah, the amount of data that's available. In any sport, in particular tennis, because of the closed nature of a tennis court and that it's 2 people on the court and you've only got a single ball in play. There's so much information available, and I guess we're all seeing this growth of AI right now, and some of the tech that we're using at tennis and some of the cameras that you're now starting to see around the court. If you look closely, you'll see a lot more cameras around the immediate court, the immediate tennis court, particularly in the larger stadiums. You'll see small cams on the back of the court. You'll see some now down on the court surface. All of those cameras are tracking everything in real time. So whether it be player movements, right down to the way their bodies move when they're serving or playing a ball, the AI is tracking all of that and actually providing them with feedback as to, your service motion is actually not as ergonomic as it could be. Where your ball is flying in the air versus where your racket travels to hit it is not as ergonomic as it could be. You could actually reduce that or increase the speed of your serve by changing this. What we'll see over the next few weeks with SuperSight is, I guess, a small iteration of some of that, where we're taking the 3D ball tracking data and including sort of the spin rate and the trajectory and whatnot, and building that into 3D graphics that for winning match points, you can go and explore those 3D graphics and see what happened in that point, with the players removed and with ball tracking line work to actually show how that ball traveled, what the point looked like. And then there's going to be a huge variety of those. I think last year we saw quite a few match points that were won on serve, so with an ace, and then a lot that were huge rallies that were 15, 20, 25 shot rallies that when you digest that information into a system and re-represent it as a visual graphic, it's actually incredibly pleasing to watch and see, and you can really sort of get into a further analysis. And this is where we see this project being a feeding ground or a bit of a feeder for tech and data and analysts, because there is so much out there. And when we ideated this project 12 months ago and first brought it to life, we literally used one string of data, which was the point on the court at which the match-winning shot landed. And the 3D ball tracking data was literally one line of code to give us that location. But there is so much available to us that as we continue to grow, we'll bring more and more of that and ingest more of that into our system as well.
Epic. Oh wow. It's pretty excited for those data, for those stats nerds out there. We're pretty excited by that. We've got SuperSight as well coming, so we're hopefully going to share some of the SuperSight experience. As Adam alluded to, OnServer might be helping us out with that. There's a bit of an alpha drop earlier. But yeah, SuperSight will be, if you're international or for anyone, if you want to catch up on the AA wherever you are in your time zone, you'll be able to gate to your AO22 or AO23 ball and jump in and experience the Web3 Netflix of the AO. So pretty excited to bring that to you. Speaking of Netflix, Ridley, what's happening on the 13th? For anyone, there's a chat here with podcasts. If you want to fill YouTube with other places to listen, there's a few podcasts on here which will drop in other places. And Ridley, what's happening on the 13th on Netflix, Australian time?
We will have the launch of Breakpoint. So Breakpoint is, I'm just trying to find a link here. I'll post it in the chat very quickly. Bear with me one sec. All right,
Okay.
here we go.
Ridley, you got it? Amazing.
Oh, sorry. Go. Yeah.
You go.
I've just posted the link in the chat. So Point Break is, I guess, the tennis iteration of Drive to Survive. So over the last 12 months, across all 4 Grand Slams, Netflix has been following a series of about 20 players throughout their journey of the Grand Slam year. So this, what are we, Thursday or Friday night, it'll kick off with episode 1, which is Nick Kyrgios. Nick obviously had quite an amazing year with his win with Thanasi Kokkinakis in the doubles at the AO earlier this year, and obviously then going on to play the final in Wimbledon against Novak and go pretty much, I think he went through the quarterfinals in New York for the US Open as well. So Nick's obviously a unique character, but I think this is a great opportunity for people to see him both on and off the court. I don't think we see too much of him off the court, and he's an unbelievable tennis player, but he's also a genuinely good guy off the court. And I think this Netflix series will showcase not just him, but Ayla Tomljanovic. I think Maria Sakkari's on there.
Berrettini.
Berrettini. We've got a ton of great players that I think it's going to be well worth a watch. And this is going to be a really popular series, particularly to go behind the scenes of what it takes to travel the world over the year with your team and put your body through incredibly demanding tournaments time and time again, and see how they react to the success and the failures that they go through, and how they work with their teams, and the on-court but off-court activities that go on as well. So this is going to be super interesting. We've got the launch at Melbourne Park on Thursday night, so tomorrow night. And then obviously, it's live on Netflix. So look forward to seeing everyone's feedback.
Pretty excited. I'm not going to lie. Watching Kyrgios, just that. That's all I'm going to say. Welcome, Rocket AU. I'm loving your profile pic of Barty there. Obviously, with the AO22, Ash Barty's championship point was memorialised on blockchain. So I wonder if you having a look at that as well, if you're into Ash Barty. We might stay on for a minute whilst we get a verbal. If you like Running South, feel free to come off mute if you want as well. Weather report from Running South before we head off. Love it if you could give us. Ridley started with his live weather forecast, but Running South probably could be busy on another screen, but is a proponent of giving the live weather report from Victoria usually as well. You're gonna come off mute?
Yeah, sure thing. Very brave coming off mute in this house at the moment. 32 warming up, looking forward to Saturday. 38.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's
what about next week? What about day 1 of the AO? How are we looking?
Goodness, who goes that far into the future?
Yeah, certainly not the weather team. They always seem to get it wrong. It changes 5 times between now and then.
I think we're 28 from Monday. See how we go.
Oh, that is perfect. That is, and maybe overcast, it's saying.
Bit of rain to come after that, so looking forward to it.
So here's a fun fact about the AO, if it rained every day of the tournament, we would still be able to complete the entire tournament because we have more indoor courts than any other Grand Slam or major tennis tournament in the world.
Love that.
That's an impressive stat.
Yeah, love it. Love it. We've
Stats. He's got so many stats, by the way. Like, that's just one. Like, I remember. Hopefully, everyone gets the medium.
You just fire away some questions, and I'll have some answers for you. That's actually a really interesting one because obviously the mitigation of rain is really important, and we have 8 courts inside the National Tennis Centre, which are used for practice courts. But if we had to use them for match courts, they can be set up literally within hours to be played as match courts, plus Rod Laver Arena, John Cain Arena and Margaret Court Arena. Obviously, Margaret Court and John Cain wind up a bit of their usage in the second week, so we would flow into the second week there as well. And ironically, John Cain Arena is named after an ex-Premier of Victoria who was responsible for putting the National Tennis Centre together and building that out as a facility, hence why the third stadium is now named after him. There you go.
Rich, you can't release all facts because they're going into our trivia, so hang back.
Well, that's
they're
actually
great,
that's some good. Maybe that's some good alpha. That people listening in to some of these chats are probably going to get some answers to some of that.
Yeah. Last one. So we've dropped a bit of alpha on this, as well as leaned into answering live mint questions as well. We'll be on tickets for anyone that's having an individual wallet issue or a wildcard question, waitlist question. We're going to be in there in force. Is for any families that can get to Melbourne, we're going to raffle out some family day tickets. I believe that's on the 15th, isn't it, Rids? We're going to push the pre-mint live today. We've just been waiting for Wildcard to start minting. Essentially, we're going to have a stack of family packages. So depending on your configuration, we'll sort you out. So the current configuration we've got is 2 adults, 2 kids. If you're single parent or if you're different configuration than that, we'll make those available as well. So family day. Ridley, have you got any insight into family day? Probably been to it before, I'm expecting.
I have. Kids Tennis Day is a great day at Melbourne Park. If the weather holds out for Sunday, it's looking like 21 degrees. So that's good. Good to have the kids out in Melbourne Park when it's not too hot. I'm just going to pull up some of the information because there's a heap of stuff going on. There'll be a bit of tennis playing. There's players still practicing on Sunday in the lead up to the event. Kids Tennis Day, obviously presented by Emirates, our major partner. Sorry, I should have said Saturday. It's Saturday the 14th, not Sunday. We have the Arena Spectacular. So in Rod Laver Arena, there's a show that's all full of acrobatics, appearances from tennis players and just general fun for kids. We've also got the AO Ballpark. So I think Sarah's just popped a link in the chat here. So if anyone wants to go and have a look, the ballpark is quite an amazing space for kids. I think particularly at this time of year, we always talk about the fact that we're coming into the last 2 weeks of school holidays and parents are just looking for something to do with the kids because they've been to the zoo, they've been to the aquarium, they've done Puffing Billy, they've been everywhere that you can take the kids over the summer school holidays, and this is a great opportunity to sort of get them out for something new. And there'll be music from PJ Masks and Baby Shark and Spider-Man and a whole lot of other characters on Grand Slam Oval, and then character appearances across the site as well. I think Lyle Crocodile, which is one of the new movies that's out there, Iron Man, Scooby-Doo, Bob the Builder, and a heap of others will be on site. There's face painting, there's magic shows, there's bubble art, a whole lot more stuff. So anything that you need to know, thank you for the update there. Running Self, Saturday 14, what are we talking? 38 on Saturday. Oof. Bring the, hopefully we'll have some of the water park features up and running. If not, the kids will be in the fountain in Garden Square, I think, if it's going to be 38. But yeah, let's pray for the people in costumes as well. they'll be in high rotation.
Love that. Love that. Running Self, for those that haven't been to the Open, I was talking about the team that wander around in Dunlop balls, life-size costumes. We'll drop a couple of gifts. We use them a fair bit. So do nouns as well, fun fact. But we might call it there. Again, thank you so much for joining this Discord. Live, it means a huge deal to us to see avatars in there and to see regulars, to see complete noobs. And I'm welcoming our new members and goats as well. So thanks for your time, your energy. If you have any mint questions, we're over in tickets. We've dropped a bit of alpha in this, so if you're watching or listening or catch up and you came in late, I'd recommend listening to this when you next get a chance. It will be on our recordings as well. And any links that have been shared here, we'll put on a resources list for if you want to get your fill. Audibly or visually on ArtBall. Adam, do you have anything to close? Ridley, do you have anything to add to send us off on into the next week? The next set two of ArtBall.
I see what you've done there. No, I think just a massive thanks to the team behind the project for getting to Mint Day here. Obviously, there's a lot of challenges and a whole lot of building that goes on behind the scenes, and the event's coming around just a few days away. Obviously, the market's in a really unique position right now, so we're monitoring so many different things, but we believe that we've built out a great strategy to keep the project going forward. As we said, huge thank you to everyone that's joined the chat here today, to all the OGs and to all the newbies that are in the project, everyone that's come across from some of our collaborator project and is educating themselves on the AO ArtBall and the benefits and how we talk about the project and how passionate we are about the project as well. So yeah, huge thank you, Running Self, for the weather updates. Please keep the community posted over the next 2 weeks. And then, we'll have tickets out to everyone in the next 24 to 48 hours as Mint continues. We've got those on hand at the moment, so they'll be landing in accounts shortly. And everyone enjoy the next couple of days. I'm sure you'll hear from us more over the next 48 hours while Mint continues, and then plenty more as we go into reveal and go into AO proper on Monday.
Thanks, Rid. Thanks, Adam. Have you got anything to add there? Just before Adam closes out, just want to say there on tickets. Yeah, just on tickets, please don't flood our tickets. Help with any questions on ground passes. We need to keep that reserved for the moment for everyone that's minting. We will come to you on when you will get your ground passes, as Ridley alluded to there. Please try and not drop a ticket because we need to get through all of our Mint priority tickets. We're in triage at the moment, so hold back on the ground pass tickets until we make an announcement. Thank you. Adam, fearless leader.
Yes. Thank you. I think just a quick shout out to Sarah. You've been amazing. I know that we're running on fumes, and she's been amazing throughout this whole process. I think we've got a long couple of weeks ahead of us, and I know that you're just, I don't know how you're handling what you are at this point in time, but you managed to get through it and do it so great. So just a big kudos to Sarah, and the rest of the Run It Wild team is delivering and definitely feeling it in some way, just making sure that we can get through and deliver to the quality of the project that we all aspire for and do it justice. So really excited to see it come out, and this is obviously just phase one. There's just so much to come, and and obviously with backhand Ben, just our fearless comms in terms of our moderation in Discord. There's going to be a few new people that will be coming in and be introducing themselves to help out over across the different time zones. But Ben, he's been here from day dot with this project and many other things that we've worked on. And yeah, just to thank you on that side. And obviously, we've got a couple of big weeks ahead. Look, I think hands on heart, we're looking forward to making sure that we can get and have a successful mint, and we've got a lot in store. So hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll be popping in and out and showing what we've been progressing with, which I'm sure will excite a lot of different people that haven't been able to see a lot because we've been testing. But looking forward to the Grand Slam on Monday and making sure that we deliver on what we need to. It's an exciting time to see it all come to life. And I'd like to put forward a conversation around match-winning points for next chat that we have too, which was, just to reflect on 2022, and maybe there's some ways that we can use the new match point site to do that. It's so cool to reflect in moments like this about what was created in terms of a project, but then how people were, participating in what their match-winning points ended up being, or how close they were. Like I know that Sarah was super close last year with a few different ones. I'm a big underdog sort of fan, so I like anything around the net to see, that come through. But there's lots of different things, and I'm so looking forward to the tournament itself because. There's just so many unknowns. Who would have thought that a match-winning point in the championship finals would have been Ash Barty's last shot, and what that looks like in terms of a memory and a piece of memento that could never be created again. We've been able to do that through the blockchain. So I'm super pumped to see everything, and I know that people may be feeling a little uneasy. I think from our side, it's all guns blazing, and we're pumped to see this through and make sure that we deliver on the tournament. So bring it on, and keep the comms up, keep looking out for each other. I think in points like this, we've been through this project for over a year, and it's evolved to something way bigger than we ever put into our original light paper, and that's only 1 year in. So bring it on.
Shout out. Oh, thanks everyone. Thanks everyone that's here. Thanks everyone that's listening. Catch up. Thanks Rid. Thanks Adam. Thanks Rod. Ping It Plum and Backhand Ben. You're absolute legends. Thanks to our entire community. Whether you're new, whether you're an AO22 OG, love your work. Our Sherpas and our community goats are insane. So thanks to you. Have a good one. Have a ripper wherever you are. This is going to be, our announcements, Charlie, is going to be an insane ride over the next little while. We're going to do an update overnight on our channels. So tune in for that and some more alpha. So see you again. Peace.